Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. This video finds us fielding an awesome mech to take to the battlefield. And that's because it is the awesome. It's the awesome 8Q. And we have this bad boy outfitted with 3 heavy PPCs, 3 small pulse lasers as backups because there's minimums involved. Our top speed is 56.7 kph, and getting into our first drop finds us on Canyon Network. We're playing Domination, and we've kind of set ourselves up along this Echo 4 back ridge line, waiting and hanging out to blunt the eventual enemy push that I know usually comes on this map. They either want to push up the Delta 4 ramp that is in front of me, or they'll try to swing wide through Echo 3, Echo 4. So that's why I'm kind of sitting here waiting, and sure enough, here comes some enemy assaults, peeking and poking that ramp, and there's also some activity to my left as well. So I just need to be aware of what's going on the battlefield as to who's pushing from where. I do need to pay attention to that left side. I don't want to get blindsided, but I do have a couple of units for support, so I'm not too awfully worried about that. And here come some of their skirmishers trying to round the corner. Let's see if we can dissuade them and show them the error of their ways. Of course, it would help if I could actually land the shots. These fast movers are difficult targets, to say the least. So the good news is we have a flea trapped in that little alcove to the left, and he's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And the rest of them have wisely gone back around the corner. So I'm putting out my airstrike across that corner just to see what's there. I'm not getting any hits on that airstrike, so that means that they backed off even further. They're not looking to re-peek that corner. Therefore, I'm going to reposition. I notice some enemy units marked in the low ground coming out of Echo 4 towards Delta 5. So I'm going to get up here on the ridge line a little bit more to the right and engage these units as they try to push the low ground. And here we've got a couple of units hung up on the ramp out of the low ground. Let's see if we can do some work on this rifleman, and we do. His CT is open, and he's definitely backing off, not wanting to expose that open CT to my teammate who's up on the higher ridge. And there's also 2 enemies stuck in the low ground that can't push towards Charlie 4. It's kind of like shooting fish in the barrel if we can focus them down. And there's an enemy Juliet. I can still see his leg, even though I was blocked by that rock bridge. I can still open up his left leg, and my teammates are able to finish him off quite nicely. A couple more units to deal with here in the low ground, and I think that was a kit box, and he just ate a whole lot of damage of PPCs, and we managed to get the kill on him. And now we start taking some DACA fire on our left side. I'm ignoring it somewhat because I want to get some more work done on these units that are trapped. Delta 5 is definitely become a kill zone, but now I'm really getting lit up. I do a panic shot just towards where I see the muzzle flashes. You can't see a whole lot when your windscreen is obscured by all of that DACA fire, but I know there's something over there to the left. I just don't have really good eyes on it. Actually, there's 2 of them. One dropped down low, and there's something further back that is pelting me. So I got to be careful of how I approach this. My teammates have marked and are focusing the ones in the low ground. I'm switching back over here to the left. I see one of my teammates is taking fire from that second unit. He's out towards the radio tower somewhere. I can't quite get a clear line of sight on him, but I know he's out here. I'm going to move a little further to the left. I think he's watching my teammates more towards Delta 5, so I want to see if I can get the angle on him. And he may even be the last one left, and yep, sure enough, there he is. It was a Sun Spider this whole time. I get a good hit with my PPCs, and it's one of the things I like about PPCs in general. It negates his ECM. and that allows him to be easily spotted and locked onto by my teammates. So he is in a world of hurt. I heard it called out. I think he's out of ammo as well. And we actually managed to get our revenge and get the final kill shot on the Sun Spider, taking him out. So switching over to our end screen, we end this one with 2 kills, 7 assists, 5 components, and 634 damage done. Moving on to our next drop. This one has us playing skirmish mode on Sleepless, and while this drop unfolds, I do want to talk about a couple of things particular to this chassis and specifically about this build. Sleepless brings out one of the weaknesses to this particular loadout, and that is the fact that the heavy PPCs have a minimum range, and there's lots of buildings for cover. So be prepared to be overrun by enemy units. Now the heavy PPCs have a minimum distance of 95 meters. Underneath that, you don't do any damage, hence that is why I'm running with 3 small pulses as backups, just as an additional deterrent. Another thing you need to be aware of in this particular chassis is the Awesome is a very wide neck, so you do present a rather large silhouette on the battlefield, so just be aware of that. Other than that, have lots of fun with this one. I know typically the 3 ERPPC loadout is preferred, or some kind of laser, but I just fell in love with the heavy PPC build. There's something very cathartic about lambasting targets with 45 damage strike, watching components open or things get blown off their map. So call me sick, but I kind of love it, and that's what gravitated me towards this particular loadout in this particular map. So jumping back into the action on this one, we've kind of held up here at the corner, unable to push in. And let's talk a little bit about choke points. I'm going to reposition moving further to the right because of choke points. Choke points are a double-edged sword. You saw earlier trying to get through that area presented lots and lots of problems. So while it limits the number of enemies that can push through the area, and it limits how many of them can shoot at you, the reverse is also true. You could see it limits the number of friendly units that can push in, and it was greatly affecting my field of fire. I couldn't get any shots through there without fear of hitting my friendly units, and that's why I have pushed out further to the right, trying to get better angles on the enemies, and indeed we have. Now, an extra side bonus that I like about the heavy PPCs, well, PPCs in general, is a good strike scrambles ECM temporarily, allowing you to get locks and mark them on the mini-map, so at least your friendly units can see that they're there and get their own locks as well. Coming out here to the right, we have managed to find an Annihilator, but we have also managed to cripple him by taking his left torso. He's dealing out quite a bit of damage. I still need to be wary of him, but I'm going to sweep that right leg, and my teammate is able to finish him off. And now we see a Timberwolf, and he wants to engage my friend, but we will have none of that. So nice big strike to his CT ends his match for him. And now I'm going to circle back around to help out my teammates. There's a fleet up on the high ground. I don't know if I got him with part of a grazing shot, maybe a little bit of damage there, but he is running out, and one of my teammates is electing to go after him. I'm too slow to chase the squirrel. I'm going to continue with my original plan and regroup with my teammates closer to Delta 5. And as we're regrouping, I also noticed there's something over here to our left, so I'm going to take him on. It cost me my left torso, left arm, but that's okay. I am still in the fight, just with reduced firepower. We managed to get a nice shot and open up his CT just in time for the Annihilator to push through and finish off the kill. So great teamwork going on there. It's still a knockdown drag-out, 7-7. and we are dealing with a cluster of enemy lighter mechs. I do manage a really good shot on that flea, taking his leg, ducking into cover just because my CT is open and I don't want to take a stray shot from one of those mechs. A teammate is able to finish off the flea. There's a second unit out in the distance there. We get a shot on him, and I know it landed because I saw his ECM turn off. That means he's going to be able to get locked up by my teammates. And now there's something coming out of the center. I just have to be careful that I don't do a little friendly fire while adding support fire into that cluster of mechs in the center. And now they're focusing the other mech that we had shot earlier and managed to put him down. So very quickly, the balance of power has shifted into our favor. It went from 7-7 to 11-7, and now the hunt begins for the final mech. I've got a teammate thinking he's got some, I don't know, some stealth or ECM. No, maybe not. I don't know. So we've got to hunt down the last one. Unfortunately, it appears that their last unit is a disconnect, and that has been called out. So we're probably going to make a quick cut. There's nothing exciting about hunting down a disconnect, and we'll see you guys at the end screen. And we find the final enemy unit. It is indeed a disconnect in their drop zone, and we find him being utterly abused by my teammates. So we're going to post this so that Z Gamer's shame can be shown to everyone. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
It's going to go up on YouTube.
He's a newer player to the game, so we'll let him have it. Jumping over to the end screen, we do finish this one out with 2 kills, 9 assists, 4 components destroyed, 749 damage done.